Alright guys, so by request, Agna here, and we're going to go over some different types of troop types with certain insects and comparing insects. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like I said in the intro, going to be doing a little bit of different videos. Somebody asked me to compare some insects and kind of run it with different troop types with that particular insect as to what would be the best. Before we get into that, got to get into the usual shenanigans. This video is sponsored by AppCoins. We're using my code EGNI6. You can get anywhere from 5 to 65% off all in-game purchases. This is a great way to save a little bit of money and be able to support the channel. And I mean, everybody likes to save a little bit of money, right? I mean, you can buy from events and instead of spending $350 to be able to get something, if you have yourself boosted up enough, you can spend about $120. So it's a great way to be able to go ahead and get a great discount on what you're already buying anyway. A full description of how to do so will be down in the description down below, as well as a link to the YouTube Discord and other links as well. So feel free to hop on over there and check it out. Now, talking about helping people and stuff, this is what this channel has always been about. But to really support me and to be able to support me and be able to continue making content, it would really help out if you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and leave a comment. I hate being that kind of YouTuber that asks you to do this kind of thing, but let's be honest, we still got 68.8% of people that are not subscribed that continuously watch my material week after week. It would really be helpful if you could just show a little bit of support, because you're already watching the channel. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, leave a video idea, whatever, to be able to just to help me putting out content that you all want to see. So all right, we'll get right into it. So the question specifically was for me to compare the oh lordy, red spider, I think it's called. I have to look and see what that insect is called now. Red crown spider, and the wasp. But I'm going to go a little bit further in that. So we're going to be comparing a couple different, as well as comparing what you can feasibly do with insects to make them at least partially useful in various different types. So actually, the first thing I want to do, which I've done a video on this, so I'm only going to go over it briefly. If you look at the red crown spider and Godzilla, it's literally identical. So basically, they gave free to play way to be able to get Godzilla into the game. Okay, so now if you take that and you look into the progression between the red crown spider or Godzilla versus wasp. So the question was, what is it best for? GSS, SSS, CCC, GGG, etc., and why? So we'll look into that. So this one is all shooters, attack, defense, march speed, combat speed. Then it has the piercing effect, which is when our backline does skill damage, 50% of the damage will be converted to true damage, ignoring defense and skill defense. So this is for all different types. And then we look at something like the red crown spider, to where it is shooter specific, shooter defense, march speed, has a chance of triggering, what the hell they call it, thrash. So for each normal attack from all our shooter squads, the chance of thrash +1 after stacking the 7 layers. Our backline will deal 250 damage to all enemies, and the charge will be reset after that. So the question was, which is better? That depends on what you're running. So as far as if you're a shooter main and you're running something like Dolly Weaver, Wise Berserker, then the red crown spider is going to be doing you a lot better, because those are based off of normal attack damage to be able to actually trigger any kind of skill, not only in your ants, but also the insect. So that applies also with the insect. So you're going to be stacking up those 7 stacks pretty quickly when you're running something that is based off of normal damage. Now with the wasp, not so much, because like we had just talked about, with being able to trigger that one attack, backline deals skill damage, 50% of the damage is converted to true damage, ignoring defensive skill damage. So this is a skill based. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So if you're running something like the Dolly Weaver, Wise Zerker, then your best bet would be the Red Crown. Whereas if you're running something that's more skill based, such as Silver Saharan and Formica Clara, anything like that, as far as the shooters are, you're going to be better off with running the Wasp because you don't have much normal damage, but you have a ton of skill damage. The same applies for when you're going with a GGG or a CCC. Because the Red Crown Spider is shooter based, you're not going to get any of those procs from using that particular insect. So your only option would be to use the Wasp. So then the question arises, which is better as far as running the Wasp or the Red Crown Spider if you're running a GSS? Well, that depends. It depends on what you're actually running. So for the instance of like running ATA, let's just make a theoretical build here. Running ATA for Formica Clara EJ, or running ATA EJ Silver Saharan, running, yeah, we'll go with those two. With those two, because those are skill-based attacks and the ants are skill-based, you'd be better off running the Wasp. However, if you're running a GSS, such as running the ATA and then Weaver, Wise Zerka, then you're basing off of normal damage, and your normal attacks would be much more progressed for the shooters, even though you have that guardian in there, to where I could see the argument of running the Red Crown Spider. So that's something that you always have to look into, is what does the insect actually attribute into to be able to help. Now this applies with many other different insects. For instance, the Platypera milleli, whatever. It really tailors, even though it's set as an all types insect, with the insect talent tree that it has, it really plays more into the actual defense factor of guardians. So I personally only use it with guardians. That's the best way that I've found, and as you can see in my current lineups, that's what I run for my pure guardian march. I still haven't gotten some of the things I want. So that's something that you have to take into account when you're trying to pair your insects with various things. Now, when it says all soldier attack, like we have quite a few, like the new one, the Platy, you have the Gladiator Menace, the Rainbow Scarab, CC, you have various, the Wasp, you have various ones are an all attack, but you have to look at what their special skill is to see what true type it's actually going to be best suited to. So, like with the Platy, you can look at it as you could possibly run like a GGS on it, because it's more suited towards the Guardian. But then you're going to want to be working around that for having more of a controlled ability to be able to withstand attacks using the skills that the Platy gives you. So these are various things that you have to look at as far as having an effective march and an effective pairing with your insects. That's pretty much all I got for you. I really hope that it helps some people out there. And egging is out. We'll see you in the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to know about next. Sorry about this one being about 3 weeks late, but hey, I always come through. All right, egging out.